And I'm excited and happy and really, really honored to be part of this NinjaTrader event. And Thomas, thanks for inviting me. And I want to talk about something that I think is the greatest things that I've ever helped work on called the magnet strategy. And that's what I'm going to get into here today. So let's get going. Definitely, you'll find that the magnet strategy is changing news trading forever. And when I say it's changing news trading forever, we're talking about trading very fast moving markets. And the magnet strategy makes trading those fast moving markets safer than it's been previously. Less whipping around, less whipsaws, a totally different approach to trading fast moving markets. So that's what I'm going to talk about here today. I'm going to show you why I really believe that the magnet strategy has changed news trading forever. My name is Leigh Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. I'm the person that you deal with when you come and join us and come into the trade room. I'm the trade room moderator. And just a reminder also, it is important to remember you can lose money trading futures. So trade carefully and just understand that there is risk in every trade that you take. But it's also possible to become a very successful trader, and it's fun and it's enjoyable to learn how to trade. And that's what we do at 10-minute trades. We teach people, we show our methods, we're very transparent, we trade and show you everything in our trade room. And not only is trading fun, but it is a way to very, very possibly add income to your life if you're retired, if you're working a job and you need a little bit of extra funds. But you've got to look at things honestly and you have to approach things very smart, understanding that there's no magic get rich quick scheme. You've got to put time in to learn how to do things. I recommend that you don't just blindly follow someone and take their signals, but learn why the signals are generated. And then you can learn to become successful. And when you think about it, isn't that true of everything we do in life? You don't follow somebody always. You figure it out for yourself. You design your own methods, and that always helps you to become more successful at anything that you choose to do. And it's so important to think positive and be positive and know that you can succeed and believe in yourself. And trading is very important to forgive mistakes, believe in yourself, go forward, and you'll become a good trader. At 10-minute trades, we trade a very specific way. We trade in a method that we call appointment-based trading. We use the NinjaTrader platform. That's the software where our software installs. And we trade futures, okay? So we talk about all different types of trading that we do at 10-minute trades. We trade stocks, stock earnings. We trade NFP reports, non-farm payroll job reports. But we're trading everything, even stock earnings, we're trading with futures. So it's important to remember that. We have very unique methodologies of trading earnings, and I'll touch upon that at the end of this webinar because it is earnings season and it is something that people are always interested in. Remember also that the way that we trade and NinjaTrader supports prop trading, which is a very, very popular way that people are trading today. Of course, you can still trade cash trading. Prop trading is essentially getting involved with other companies and learning to trade using their funds. It makes learning to trade much more reasonable. You don't have to come up with thousands and thousands of dollars anymore to learn how to trade, and you don't have to risk thousands and thousands of dollars anymore to become a trader. So it's a great thing that's happened to the trading industry. Prop trading is what it's called. Not everybody knows what it is, but it's basically getting involved with other companies that lease the NinjaTrader platform to you every month for small amounts of money. It's not expensive. And you can use the NinjaTrader platform, live data, and their funds. And when you get really good at it, the idea is to be able to take real money out of the account. And many people do succeed and are able to do that. Once again, put in the time, be willing to learn, and you can do it. News trader software, magnet strategy, trap trade strategy. Those are just three of the things that make up our system. We actually have four main elements that make up our whole trading system. The WMM is the weekly schedule. The DMM is our daily trade action reports, software, and the trade room. Those are the four main elements that make up our system. And I've talked about this in our previous webinar with NinjaTrader, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing the same thing I did last time, but know that we have a weekly schedule that anyone can get for free by just going to our website, 10minutetrades.com, and just opt in for the free video, and we'll start sending you the weekly schedule. Members get daily trade reports on many of the events that we trade the day before the event. The key is we send those reports the day before so you can be prepared for the trades. The other elements that make up our system, obviously, trade room access, our news trader strategy, which is our software, the magnet trade strategy, and the trap trade strategy. We actually have three separate files, three strategies that install into the NinjaTrader platform, and they become a part of the platform. It's as if they were part of it. They're integrated. You don't have to really do anything special. Once they're installed, it takes about 5 minutes to install the strategies. It's very easy. This is an example of our weekly schedule. It shows all the information you need to get ready to trade the news during the week, the time of the event, when our trade room opens, the name of the event that we're trading. It's got some simple risk parameters on the weekly schedule and a few little notes. The daily market mover reports, these are I call them trade action reports. They help our members trade a specific event in the trade room. We have suggested setups that are often being modified from the main setup on the report because the markets are volatile. They're always changing. So you don't often have a document that is in stone, if you know what I mean. Documents are living and breathing, just like the markets. A trade setup document, you have to have an open mind if the market is super volatile or something was tweeted or somebody said something. It could make it so that your trade setup has to change. Those are the things that we discuss always in our trade room, learning how to modify, how to change things, how to be smart about trading is all part of the system. Appointment-based trading is a simple time-based, pre-planned approach to the market. You can schedule your trades specific days at specific times up to a week in advance. So very simply, we create a weekly schedule. Our members have that schedule at the beginning of the week, of course, and you can plan which events you want to trade. And of course, some events are better than others. And we have something we call family money trades. Family money trades are those special best of the best events that we would trade our own family's money on those trades. We like them so much. Those are the best of the best. So the idea is really very simple. The question is not, what is your success rate on all your reports? That's not the question. The right question would be, what's your success rate on the non-farm jobs report? What's your success rate when you trade the FOMC statement? Each individual event has its own success rate. Some events aren't trading well. They're not performing well. So we don't recommend that you trade those in your prop account or in your cash account. We vet the events, we study the events, and we come up with what we feel are the best ones to trade. And those are the things that we talk about every single day in our trade room. What are the best events that will give us the best possible outcome possible? There are multiple categories, and we find our events from these categories. So, for instance, you might have high impact economic reports, job reports, FOMC statements, bank statements, GDP reports. Those are high economic reports. Then you have category number two, big company earning reports. And I'm going to show you some of those because, like I said before, we're in the middle of earnings season and we've had some great, great earnings trades this week. Also, category number three, market open, market close. Now, a lot of people don't realize there's more than one market open. And when you're involved with smart people or with people that really care, they're going to teach you all the important things you need to know. You need to know that the gold open is at 8:20 in the morning. It's not at 9:30 when the US index is open. That's the regular market open. Also, you've got the 6 p.m. Eastern time market open the evening before. That's an important market open. So there are many opportunities that we call market opens, and they're not just limited to 9:30 Eastern time in the morning when the regular US market opens. However, that time is probably the most common and popular market open to trade. Those are categories. That's a trigger category. That's a category that is going to create a move. The market open creates a very volatile move in the market that is often very tradable. And that's why people look to trade at that time. There are literally hundreds of triggers within these categories, and we pick and choose and create a schedule from them all. And then, of course, where do we find the events? Different calendars. Forex Factory, for instance, a very, very good calendar where we look for events. This is Forex Factory. You click the word calendar, and it gives you a full week of events. We've vetted these events. We know which ones are the best ones to trade, and those are the ones that go on our schedule. Then you've got investing.com, another great calendar. We've got tradingeconomics.com, Financial Juice, which has a squawk box, a news squawk box in your earpiece. I can't tell you how important that can be for trading events. And then for earnings, we use a site called earningswhispers.com. We love it. It's incredibly helpful to help us find the best earnings trades. And that's some of the places where we find the events that we're going to trade. Like I said before, of course, you can trade in a prop account. So we have news software. Inside of our news software, we have setups, reversals, continuations, a separate strategy for the magnet trade. Our software strategies are custom add-ons to NinjaTrader. These strategies have multiple setups. They automate or semi-automate your trade entries, targets, and stops. And our software is a super ATM, an automated trade manager. And all that means is instead of learning the internal programming syntax that's part of NinjaTrader and other platforms, you don't have to learn that. You can just enter your trades in using our software, and it emulates the syntax. So what does that mean? It just makes it a little bit easier, or I should say a lot easier, to enter your trades and have your stops move automatically, have your targets placed on the chart. So when I say that our software is a super ATM, an automated trade manager, it helps to manage the trade while it's going on. And that's important because we trade news, we trade fast moving events most of the time, not always. As you'll see, the magnet trade is changing a lot about some of the ways that we trade. But when you're trading fast moving events, you want to manage the software, you manage your orders so that you can maximize your success rate on an event. So being able to manage is very important. And now let's get really into the meat and potatoes of this particular event today. What is the magnet strategy and what is a magnet? So let me back up just for a second and let me show you the NinjaTrader platform and my charts. These are my charts And you notice a couple of things. Number one, they're really clean and simple to look at. We don't populate our charts with dozens and dozens of indicators, confusing looking indicators, because we want to make it as simple as possible to trade everything that we trade. And that includes magnets, our trap trade reversal trades, our spike news trades. We use the same charts for all of the trading that we do. And we teach our members how to put simple indicators on the chart. Most of the indicators are free and part of the NinjaTrader platform. If they're not free, we find the most reasonably priced indicators and items for you to put on your charts. We teach you how to do it, and it's very, very easy. But the key for us, clean, simple charts. Now, remember, we said that our software installs into NinjaTrader. So this is a NinjaTrader chart. Obviously, it's made up. We have two trading charts that we could use. We call this the control panel. And all you have to do to call up our strategies is right-click the chart, click the word strategy, and then on the left side, you'll see trap trade, magnet trade, news trader. So for us to call up, for instance, the magnet trade, I just double-click the word magnet trade, and it's down on the bottom. And now on the right here, I have the parameters that I'm going to edit. And I don't have to edit all of these parameters. So you don't want to get worried and say, oh man, there's just too many parameters. Nobody could do that. No, it's only a couple of things that we're going to change. We're going to tell the program how many ticks of profit you want to take. We're going to tell it how many contracts we're going to trade. Are we going to trade a magnet for the high of day or the low of day? So let's get into that. So what is a magnet? What's the big deal? What's all the hullabaloo about magnets? Why are they so important? So here's the beauty of magnets, and it is something of beauty. And one more backtrack before I explain what the magnet is. Let me just show you important things that we put on the chart. This red dotted line is the low of day. S2 is a pivot. S1 is a pivot. This red line here, that maybe I'll make it a little bit thicker one day, that's the VWAP. PP is a pivot. And then, of course, you've got your candles. Now, what's interesting is most of those are magnets. The VWAP, everybody's probably heard of the VWAP, volume weighted average price. It's a level on the chart that we choose to look at because many, many, many traders also look at it. So here's the deal with magnets. Many, many traders look at the same levels. Almost everybody looks at the high of day. Almost everyone looks at the low of day. They put their orders around those areas. Everybody looks at the VWAP and they put their orders around that area. So what happens is traders put their stop, their exit right near the VWAP, right above it, right below it usually. They'll put orders right near the high of day or the low of day. It's all those orders that are wind up attracting price. Popular levels on the charts attract price over and over all day long. What's beautiful about magnets, what's fantastic about the whole concept is magnets have worked probably since the very beginning of trading. We don't have to do anything very unique and different to deal with magnets. What we did that was clever, we came up with a strategy that exits at the magnets, because what are we doing? We're testing the level. Levels get tested over and over and over because orders get placed around those levels. Those orders are attracting and pulling the price into those orders, and we're setting up a trade to exit the market, hopefully with a profit at those magnets. So magnets are common areas on the chart that many, many traders all look at, and those magnets get hit over and over. So it means a couple of very important things. You can trade any instrument you like because every instrument has a high of day, it has a low of day, it has pivots, right? So if you like trading the S&P futures, bingo, you can trade the S&P futures. Hey, if you're a stock trader, you could take everything I'm teaching you with this webinar today and you could apply it to stocks because you could put pivots on your stock charts. You could have a high of day and a low of day on your stock charts, and you could trade magnets on your stock charts. So you don't tell me, hey, I can't trade magnets because I don't trade futures. Magnets work on any instrument, any type of chart, all different time frames. If you like the 5-minute chart, trade the 5-minute chart. The beauty of magnets is because everybody looks at these areas, they get tested over and over on all the instruments. I could change every chart that we're looking at. I've got the MNQ on the left. I've got the ES on the right. If you look at gold, if you like trading gold, which a lot of us do, gold's going to have the same pivots, the same levels. They're not going to be at the same price, of course, but there's magnets. You got the VWAP. It's going to attract price. If you go back through the day on the average chart, you'll see it testing the magnets over and over and over. So what's the most important thing you could learn to help you to trade magnets? Understanding trend. Now, when a market is trending in one direction, you'll often get some of your best tests of the magnet. But one of the exciting things I'm announcing at today's webinar and tomorrow's webinar, and I want to remind everybody, we have a special thing going on where, remember this link, freetraderoom.com, and you're going to see it later, freetraderoom.com, because anybody that's in this webinar, if you go to freetraderoom.com and sign up for our webinar tomorrow, where we're going to go even further in depth on Magnet 2.0, you can get a free week in our trade room. So if you're new here and you're in NinjaTrader's webinar today, www.freetraderoom.com, and you'll get a free week in our trade room just for signing up for our Friday webinar. But you got to come. All right. Signing up and attending Friday's webinar, freetraderoom.com. So magnets, areas on the chart, everybody looks at, everybody puts their orders around. Of course, I'm saying everybody, you know, it's most everybody. Let me show you what a magnet looks like when you trade one. So I collected a whole bunch of magnets and I put them in a folder. Let me grab my folder here. And we have trade after trade after trade where magnets get tested. One of my favorite instruments to trade has always been gold. I love trading gold magnets, and our members are loving to trade gold magnets these days as well. So our magnet trade software puts orders on the chart. The thick line right here where my cursor is moving is the order entry. The magnet, the area that we're going to trade to test, the exit of the trade, is the dotted line. It's the high of the day. Constantly throughout the day, gold tests that level. So our software allows us to put an order entry on the chart, and we can move it around, and I'll show you. And we can put our exit right at the magnet. We can also add a second exit and put that above the magnet. Should you shoot through the level and keep going, you can have a second position that'll take advantage of bursting through the magnets. And that happens quite a bit. So this is a real live magnet trade we were taking in our trade room. We got filled when that heavy order line was pierced. We were put in the market long, and we were just relaxing, waiting for the trend, which we could see was up, because we use these simple indicators, the squeeze, the net change display. The net change display is a free indicator, part of NinjaTrader. You can glance at it and it can give you a brief, quick idea of whether you're bullish or bearish on an instrument you're trading or looking at. And you could see, look, it's chopping around. It didn't go in our direction instantly, but ultimately, The magnet is going to magnetize that candle price. It's going to pull it towards the high of day. It's going to test that high of day. That was a very successful winning trade. One contract and very successful winning trade. That is exactly what a magnet does. Now, remember, you can have the VWAP as a magnet. You can have the high of day as a magnet. The pivots can be magnets. Here's another fantastic thing about magnets. If you're a lover of your own analysis, if you believe so strongly in your own analysis and you find levels on the charts that you want to use, you can use those levels as magnets, because in our magnet strategy, we support custom magnets, custom levels, we call them. So if you like Fibonacci's, for instance, I always use Fibonacci's as a good example, because Fibonacci's do something called retracements. And they have very common retracements where, once again, many traders put their orders, and price often backs up or goes to those levels. So you could very easily set up custom magnets around your favorite indicators. So our magnet strategy can be used with any instrument, any time frame, any indicator, any price level that you want to use. Let me show you a couple more, because it's very important to see them work so you can understand what a magnet is. Here's another one. Let's see what this one looks like. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of them. But again, one of the beauties of the way we do things is our charts are simple and clean. So our magnet strategy has a button called the magnet entry button. When you press that button, it puts the trade in auto mode. That means that when the line gets pierced, it'll automatically put you in the trade. So if you're moving up towards the high of the day, like we are in this particular event, when the magnet entry button is pressed and it becomes purple, you don't have to do anything. It will trigger and put you in the trade when it pierces the order entry line. If you don't pierce the line, then there's actually quite a bit of information that's inside that magnet box. It'll show you what your entry price is. It shows you what your target is, and it lets you think about how you might want to manage the trade. Because a magnet trade, ultimately, it is a discretionary trade, but it's a discretionary trade that can become automated. Okay, so it's important to understand that. You can decide if you want the trade to be long or short or both. If your analysis says, whoa, wait a minute, this market is moving like crazy in the direction of my trade, of what I think is going to be a test of a certain area, I want to enter now. We have an enter now button that puts you in the trade early. And that's a way that if your analysis says this market is taken off, I want to get in early, we made sure that we had a way to do that. We do that on our range trade also. We have a trade set up called the range trade. Sometimes we will use time, like maybe we'll use a 10-minute range. But inside that 10 minutes, maybe at minute 8, the market starts really pushing up, or maybe somebody says something in the news that makes it so that you want to go long for a short period of time. And if you wait 2 minutes, you might miss the opportunity. And you're in 8 minutes of the 10-minute calculation. So at the 8-minute mark, you can press a button that gets your orders on the chart early. We always try to think of ways, so if we're calculating something, we can bypass the calculation to enter right away. And the magnet strategy has that ability. We've also automated in our magnet strategy. We only initially had automation for the high of day, low of day system. Automation in the sense that it was automatically finding your first target and setting that target without you having to think about it. In Magnet 2.0, we're adding that feature to the VWAP and to the pivots and to all of the indicators, the custom indicators. So you have to do way less thinking to figure where your target might want to be on a magnet trade. On a high of day, low of day, which is my favorite magnet, it's very easy. I always like to exit 3 ticks roughly before you actually touch the magnet. Sometimes, markets are funny. Sometimes it will go a couple of ticks right to the level you want it to, and it won't touch the level. In the cases I just happen to be showing you today, it's showing touching of the level and going a little bit further. But you could see how the magnet strategy trades. It's as if the price is being pulled into that level. And when it gets to the level, it exits your trade with a profit. That's the whole simple concept of what magnet trades are. And once again, you've got almost any instrument. Here was a trade where I think we actually had multiple magnets. So sometimes we might use a strategy called reverse continuations. We have a strategy that just puts an order, a long or a short on the chart when you press the long or short button. Of course, it puts a stop on and it puts targets on, but sometimes you don't have time to create a setup. The market just takes off, but you might have your reversal continue on the chart, the setup. That setup lets you simulate a magnet in half a second because maybe you're at a low, maybe you're close to a low, and you didn't set up a magnet trade. Maybe you're doing something, that was different than magnets, but we know magnets always not, we know they often work. So you can use some of our other setups to pull you into these levels and still be profitable. Here's another, this was a traditional magnet to the long side. We were trading micro oil. The magnet again is the green dotted line. That's the high of the day. Our order entry is the thick line. That thick line, we can move it around the chart and put it wherever we want. So we determine where we enter a magnet trade. And if you're good at understanding levels or your analysis is good, you can use it to your advantage because you can move the orders anywhere you want. Again, another magnet trade getting pulled up to the level. Often price chops around. They don't always go there instantly, but eventually, if you've got your setup right, if the trend is working in your favor, it's going to burst to the level and it's going to give you that successful trade outcome because magnets over and over and over, they test the price levels on the chart. Magnet 2.0, we have a brand new control panel that we're working on. And I literally just got the new version last night that I've been looking at. So we're going to be able to, it just consolidates a lot of the simple things, a lot of the buttons, and it has the custom level and the high of day all in one place. Just the new control panel is going to make it a lot easier to trade the new magnet trade setup. So we're really, really excited about version 2.0. Once again, let me just show you, right now the markets are closed, but let me show you anyway, if you wanted to set up a magnet trade, how easy it would be to do. This VWAP is a magnet, but also the low of day, that line there is a magnet. So my favorite, like I said, one of my favorite magnets is high of day, low of day. All you got to do is right-click the chart, click the word strategy. I already had a strategy set up, so I'm going to remove it and just start over. Click the word magnet, and then on the right side, high of day, HOD, low of day is already default. I just put in a proximity. How close to the magnet, to the exit, do I want my entry to be? And all I need to do is tell it how many contracts do you want to trade. Maybe I'll trade 2. The target is automatic. There's a default stop of 20 ticks for gold. That's fine. Choose the account you're trading. If you're trading a prop account, you choose that account. If you're trading sim like we're doing right now, we choose that account. I label every trade So we know when it's in the control panel, what trade it is. I apply it and okay it. I now have a magnet trade in the control panel ready to go. When I enable it by just putting a check mark there, the magnet is ready to go. Now, the markets are closed right now, so you're not going to get everything perfectly working, but we do get our order. That thick line is our order entry. So if I want to get ready for a short magnet, I can say, well, enter me at this area here. If price pulls down and goes through that level, it's going to put me in the trade short. Now, if I want to make that automatic, I press the magnet entry button, and now it's purple, it's automatic. If I don't make it automatic, when the price gets to that level, it'll make a sound and it'll blink purple so that you know you can enter the trade by pressing the box. Also, before you set it to automatic, information is in the box that just tells you what your levels are. So you don't have to do any guessing. You don't have to do any fumphering around. It shows me what my sell level is if the line is right here. It shows me what my target is if I'm doing the low of day, which is the setup I chose. And it also shows me the high of day magnet. Because remember, high of day, low of day is a dual system. It'll trade long if it gets to the high, and it'll trade short if it gets to the short. So magnet trading, very simply, remember, we're exiting at the magnet. The magnets are often happening over and over again on the various charts we trade. Here's an oil magnet trade. And it's not complicated. You're figuring out what market trend is in place. We use some very simple tools to help us determine what the trend is. Here was early magnet trading before we had our control panel, but the concept is the same. We have the green high of day. We're putting our exit order right near that high of day. And then, wouldn't you know it, oil is almost up $1 that day. Wouldn't you know it, it's an upward trend. Price starts to move up. Bingo, it hits the high of day. We have tools that we use to help us determine what the trend is. And then I'm going to just say one more thing about what we've got going tomorrow. I want everybody to come to our webinar tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to go into much greater detail on version 2.0. I'm going to show you how to set up your charts. These are the indicators we put on our charts: the squeeze, the net change display, volume up and down, order flow VWAP, pivots, current day OHL. Our new magnet strategy, right now it's set up so it's going to automate all of those indicators being put on the chart. I may not even have to teach you how to do it. If the programmer does it the way that I want it, and I'll know in a day or two, because like I said, I just got the software back. If he does it the way I like it and it's easy, then we won't even have to teach how to set up the charts anymore. It'll do it automatically. So what triggers a magnet trade? Highs of days, lows of days, VWAPs, pivots, testing of those levels over and over. So we have a magnet strategy upgrade. I'm expecting to see this upgrade in approximately 2 weeks. I want to see it faster. It's going to make our magnet trading even safer because we're going to automate more of it. New improved automation, new levels that will be automatic targets, easier and faster setups, the pivots, the VWAPs, the high of day, that will all be part of the auto mode. Can you trade opens with our system? Does the magnet strategy work on market opens? Absolutely. And one of the magnet opens that we love trading, one of the opens we love trading is the YM magnet opens. They work great in the mornings. The gold open is very good. This was the magnet open on the YM that I traded this morning. I don't particularly love trading the YM at the exact moment the market opens. So I set up a short magnet. It looked like the YM was heading down. That red line is the low of the day. Our entry was X ticks above that low of the day. And sure as I'm sitting here, the YM right before the open, and I told our members I'll put this trade on if it happens a few minutes before the open, and it chopped a little bit, not really very much. Bingo, went through the level, and we had a nice little profit on the magnet open this morning. Magnets, over and over and over, we get the testing of these levels. You can trade news, you can trade in a prop account. So this was a quick preview, everyone. I thank you so much for joining me. I have a wonderful offer for everyone. If you know you want to take advantage of spending time with us, I want to make a fantastic offer for everyone. Anyway, even if you take me up on my offer today, also come to the trade room tomorrow, to the not to the trade room, but to our webinar, www.freetraderoom.com, and sign up for our class tomorrow. It'll take you to our go-to-webinar, okay, Magnet 2.0, an even deeper preview than what we're doing today. So freetraderoom.com. For everybody that's here today, as our way of thanking NinjaTrader, we want to make you a fantastic offer to become a member of 10-minute trades. And why else would you want to be a member? Besides trading magnets, we trade earnings, and we had some fabulous earnings this week. We love trading earnings. We traded Palantir. We just started trading Palantir. One of our members in Kenya, Roz in Kenya, had awesome Palantir success. Let me see if I have her chart handy real fast. We also traded Palantir, and give me half a second. Here's Roz's winning chart. I'm not talking dollars and cents today, but look at the trade. This candle burst up, and Roz had a fantastic profit. Quite a few, I'm not going to say dollars, but quite an excellent profit trading micros. A lot of our members are trading micros and doing really well. This is what that Palantir trade looked like. Our software has the capability of trading earnings at the exact moment that those earnings come out. We studied Palantir and we took advantage of that bursting move to the upside to have a really significant earning and a significant trade profitably on Palantir earnings. Our software puts the orders on the chart automatically, and we take advantage of that explosion to the upside using futures and the NinjaTrader platform. That's what we want to teach you. That's what this offer is all about. How would you like to join us for all of our trade rooms, magnet trade rooms, earning trade rooms, news spike trade rooms? You'll get everything that we offer for a pro membership, our daily market movers, everything. The pro trade room subscription, you get to come into the room for every single trade room that we have, our trap trade reversal software. As I've said, you could trade in a prop account. We can sell the magnet strategy for $1,000 easily, because it can make profits over and over. Now, look, every trade isn't a winner. You know the truth. Everything doesn't work all the time, but you want to be involved with strategies that have a very nice level of success. Magnets get hit all the time, over and over. In celebration of this pre-release, we want to offer everybody here 6 months of a full-blown membership for everyone for just $497. www.magnetstrats.com. www.magnetstrats.com. 6 months for $497. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Everything is available, though, not just the magnet strategy. You'll get every single thing that we offer at 10-minute trades, our spike trades, our trap trades, our news trades, our earnings trades, www.magnetstrats.com, everything that we do. Daily market mover, weekly market schedule, trap trades, breakout ranges, and of course, current magic is available now. The magnet strategy, current magnet available now. Magnet 2.0, I hope within 14 days. Everything that we do, everything we teach you is included in this offer. Trade stock earnings with futures, earnings trade rooms, teach you how to make a schedule, learn the appointment-based trading method, learn how to use the magnet strategy. I will guide you step by step. I don't go this fast in the trade room, I promise. And magnetstrats.com, you'll learn about family money trades, www.freetraderoom.com to sign up for tomorrow's trade webinar. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask me? If you forget and you don't ask me now, just send us an email, help@10minutetrades.com. We'll get back to you right away. And I want to thank our friends at NinjaTrader for asking us to present. I love the magnet strategy so much. And there's one thing I didn't even mention that you'll only be able to hear about when you come to our webinar tomorrow. It's a whole other setup that I didn't even mention that I think is going to be as good as trading magnets, and it's part of the magnet strategy. So definitely come over, www.freetraderoom.com. If you think you want to be with us for 6 months, www.magnetstrats.com, and we'll get you set up so you can be trading by Monday. Thanks, everybody. And my name is Leigh Goldstein, the trading director of 10 Minute Trades, and I would love to see you in our trade room.